We are following breaking news near Washington, D.C., where the search for survivors after a mid-air crash between a plane and a military helicopter is now a recovery operation.
The American Airlines jet carrying 60 passengers and 4 crew members collided last night with a Black Hawk chopper while it was landing at Ronald Reagan National Airport. 3 soldiers were on board that chopper. So far, 28 bodies have been removed or recovered. The recovery operation currently underway in the Potomac River. These are live pictures of the effort right now. We understand from officials from an update earlier that the 3 pieces of the fuselage are in waist-deep water. At this point, there is no cause no word on the cause of this collision. Let's bring in CTV's aviation specialist this morning, Phyl Durdey, to talk more about this. Phil, just an absolute tragedy, no doubt about that. But when you hear officials saying that the standard chopper pattern flight path, standard airline flight path last night, what do you see could have gone wrong here?
Yeah, good morning, Nick and Jennifer. Well, everything seemed to be normal with the CRJ. The flight from Wichita was as planned. They were coming in on approach to runway 1. The pilots did request runway 33, which their request was granted. And the last that I heard on the recordings for the air traffic control was that the aircraft was clear to land runway 33. The pilots did read back the clearance, and then everything went quiet. And then other aircraft in the area called the tower and said, "Did you see that?" And then everybody started to scatter.
Yeah, just a devastating situation, Phil. And we're also learning that according to officials, it sounded like the helicopter veered into the flight path of the passenger plane. We know that this is something that happens at this airport almost every day in terms of helicopters and planes landing. So what do you think could have happened in terms of the crash?
Well, at this point in time, it's not exactly sure how the Black Hawk helicopter got into the path of the CRJ. The CRJ was clear to land. They were at about 375 feet, doing about 130 miles per hour, which is absolutely normal. And from the videos, you can see that the Black Hawk helicopter was approaching from the right-hand side of the aircraft and impacted the airplane. Now, there is a corridor right there on the Potomac River where the helicopters are scheduled to fly. So that's normal. The approach path to the DCA is normal. So at this point in time, it's not sure exactly how air traffic control was controlling these two aircraft. So there is a system on board called TCAS, Traffic Collision Avoidance System, which will warn the pilots in the event of a potential collision. But the system is inhibited below 500 feet, so there's no audio warnings inside the cockpit.
And Phil, we understand from the news conference that happened about an hour and a half ago that the plane was on one frequency, the chopper was on another frequency in terms of communication with the tower. Is that normal, sort of a standard operating procedure?
Well, it depends who has control of the airplane. So the CRJ would have been on tower. They could have been the Black Hawk could have been on arrivals. I'm not sure exactly what the 2 different frequencies are, but I know the CRJ would have been on the tower frequency, and the air traffic controllers would have seen both of the aircraft, and they should have made arrangements for them to be clear.
Okay, well, it's an absolute tragedy what's happened. At least 30 bodies recovered now in a recovery operation. Phyl Durdey, CTV's aviation specialist. Appreciate your time this morning.
Great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you.